Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic and a medium, and today I'm going to be doing part 2 of my spirit guides answer your political questions. Thank you so much for posting them on my community page on my main YouTube page, which you can get to by clicking the logo. We're going to start off with user saying, will Gloria Johnson beat Republican Marsha Blackburn in the Tennessee Senate race? I really think yes. I have a really good feeling of Gloria Johnson. She's almost got this godlight that Warnock had. The guides predicted that Warnock would win the special election back when nobody thought he would win. And he has this godlight, like, I don't know. It is what it is, guys. I see this with Gloria Johnson. It's almost like she's divinely supposed to be doing this. Like she knows she's divinely appointed to do this. And I know that sounds crazy, like people that say Trump is divinely appointed. All I can tell you is her energy looks really good. I do think she's going to beat Marsha Blackburn. I think that would be an amazing defeat because Marsha Blackburn's been around a long time and she's pretty bad. She's a pretty bad hombre, the spirit guides are saying. So I definitely do think she's going to win, and I think she could really benefit from you all going to her social media. If you're on Facebook or Twitter or anything at all, or if you could send her $5, it would really help her. Just because she's got good energy, she's going up against a heavyweight, so she really could use the extra help. And then your second question is, why is Katie Porter saying that the California Senate primary was rigged? I thought she was above this sort of thing. So here's the thing, guys. That's funny that the guides brought me this, because I did a whole video just now that I'm not posting because I had a hard time bringing the spirit guides energy down into my energy and making it mix so that I was coherent. And one of the things they talked about was Katie Porter. So here's the thing, right? Like, I love Katie Porter. Katie Porter has been an amazing fighter for the people of California. She's not going anywhere. I see her going into some sort of institution like a think tank or a teaching or something. I mean, this woman is not going anywhere. I think that she got, she's a fighter, right? She very much believes in fairness. And in her opinion, Adam Schiff was not fair. She didn't think he was on the up and up. Now, what the spirit guides are saying is all is fair in love and war, right? The Democrats, one of them had to win. You're not going to win if everybody is like, oh, you go first. Oh, you go first. I mean, come on. Yeah, Adam Schiff took the gloves off and he did some things that Katie Porter thinks were out of bounds. I think Adam Schiff helped the Republican in the primary. I don't know. Somehow I think he knew he could beat the Republican, so he boosted the Republican because he knew Katie couldn't beat the Republican. I don't know what it was. But from the beginning, you guys, from the beginning, we all knew Adam Schiff, his energy was bigger than Katie Porter's. Okay, so give her some grace, right? I would suggest allow her to have her temper tantrum. She's human. I don't think we should throw the baby out with the bathwater. I don't think that we should just say, just because somebody's upset, that they're being terrible and I'm never gonna, we got to get over this thing of, I lost all respect for this person. They're human. Why are you trying to put them on a pedestal where they can't be human? Look, if they go out and hit somebody with a sledgehammer, by all means, lose all respect for them. If they just get mad because they lost, well, that's their humanity showing, isn't it? Think of a time when your humanity showed. Think of a time and tell me that you didn't have a little hissy fit. Allow her the hissy fit. She's going to come back around. She's going to be fine. She's going to find her way in California. Now, really, it's incumbent upon her at this point to say, my feelings are hurt. I'm upset. My hopes are dashed. I'm having a dark night of the soul, but I'm going to rise above it. I'm going to rise above it, and I'm going to heal that energy, and I'm going to get back into politics, and I'm going to not allow this to be a chip on my shoulder, because that doesn't help anybody. If Katie Porter's serious about helping people, then she's got to find a way to put this aside, put her hurt feelings aside, heal yourself, love yourself, and then pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and get busy. So I do think she'll do that. I really do. So the next question is, what sleazy mischief is Bannon up to? Bannon was in Trump's cabinet for my international viewers. He is pretty sleazy, honestly, and this is only opinions and for entertainment purposes only. Right now, right. So right now, the great thing that I like about what's happening right now is Karma is in town. Like Karma had to get off the beach in Tahiti. She's all mad. She still got like, the sunscreen on her nose, she mad. She big mad because she's like, humans, we gave y'all hit the snooze button. We gave you extra time. Now I got to get up off of my vacation and come over here and swat you. And she's going to swat. So what does that mean? It means that I see this financial regulation happening around the world, specifically United States, Canada, Australia, Europe, Spain, and also the Five Eyes, that's the Five Eyes, or the 5 countries that share intelligence. So this new financial scrutiny, we all understand. I think honestly, those countries got a great big, holy crap, what is happening with the United States moment, right? When we got taken over by our dictator and had our little mini coup. And for a minute there, it looked like we were going to go down the drain. I think everybody had a wake-up call. And now with Biden at the helm, everybody is saying, okay, we need to have like a 10 eyes. Forget 5 eyes. We got to add 5 more countries, and we got to share more intelligence, and especially around finances, because right now they're telling me there's even more scrutiny as to how Russia is still getting money. What countries are working with Russia, even though they have these sanctions and even more sanctions, right? And same thing with Iran. All these countries that have sanctions, how are they getting any money? Well, guess what? These countries are going to band together. And if there's a country, let's just say, for instance, it might be India, that is thumbing their nose at these sanctions, well, bigger is better. So these countries are going to band together, and then they're going to be able to kick India out, meaning we're not going to do business with you. That's going to hurt. Money talks, BS walks. So why does that have to do with Bannon? Well, because Bannon is going to be a target, what is that when you a result? He's gonna be a result of this new cooperation of this financial intelligence. So he is feeling that his usual, when I go into his energy, he's feeling that his usual connections, he has all these, like he sees himself as a spoke, like the wheel, and there's all these spokes, right? So one reason why it's been hard to catch him is because he switches up his channel. If he's using this channel, he switches to this channel, and then he switches to this channel. So he doesn't stay with a source long enough for them to wiretap or to get evidence or to get witnesses. He switches his channels all the time and doesn't often come back to the same person. Okay, so that has proven to work very well for him. Right now, they're also showing me he also does a lot of business in international waters. He's the kind of guy that takes the yacht out into international waters and does business. He hopes that that is going to make him not able to be, break a law. It's, where are the laws in the international waters? Very different than if you're in the United States, or if you're in a country, you have to go by that country's laws. If you're in international water, having a meeting or taking delivery of something, whatever that might be, then you hope that it's gray. Well, whose jurisdiction are you in? Right? So these are the things he's used, but I'm telling you guys, it's all crumbling. It's all coming down on him. And not only him, this would be all those players. This is actually going to, it's like, the energy is like coming in and surrounding, capturing these people, a lot of these people would be politicians in other countries. You're going to see this, they're telling me, in Great Britain. You're going to see this, and of course, in the United States, because I feel like we're the cesspool right now. We're kind of the cesspool, sadly. I'm just looking at it, and it is true. Oh, well, it's good. It's good to know that you've got a condition, right? If you know you're sick, you can take steps to get it fixed. It's that we spent too many generations not realizing we had this sickness, and now it's really bad, and we have to seek help, right? And that's what we're doing. So Great Britain, there is some energy around, and I don't think it's negative. I think it's positive energy around New Zealand. New Zealand helping wherever Jakarta is, I don't know, but New Zealand is helping. There's something good energy happening in New Zealand. I don't know. They're helping in some way. Australia's got a little struggle here and there. Canada's got some struggles. Again, I don't know what that is. It feels like around the prime minister. I don't think he's dirty. I don't think he's, like dirty in the sense of like compromised. But I think that I think I've said this before. The spirit guides are saying I've said this before. It's like when you're standing on the side of the road in your good Sunday clothes, or your good going out to eat clothes, or whatever clothes you think are good, and you looking good, you feeling good, and somebody comes down the road and runs through a puddle and splashes muddy water on you. That's what I see with the Prime Minister for Canada. Somebody else splashes muddy water on them and ruins their good day, their good clothes, their good disposition, personality, characteristics, but also maybe even their good reputation. So something is going on there, but this is all came up from Bannon. They show me Bannon is not the reason for it, but he will be a result. He will take the fall because this energy is changing. And, we can see it also in Peter Navarro, who was on Trump's team, his administration, having to report to prison. Peter Navarro's going to prison because he did not show up for a subpoena. Listen, this is the first time I've ever seen subpoenas really have teeth. How many people have not shown up for subpoenas? Why is Peter Navarro being taken to jail for a subpoena? Can we see other people being taken to jail for not showing up for a subpoena? I think that's why Hunter Biden finally showed up, because he said, you know what? These people are crazy enough. They'll put me in jail. They won't put Comey, they won't put these other people in jail, but they'll put me in jail. So there is this sense that that karma's coming. There is a reckoning. There is an accounting for. Things will be accounted for. And you're going to see that. It's not just Bannon, it's across the world, you guys. It really is across the world. And I just want to stick with the world for a minute, because I want to talk about, I'm sure there's probably 400 questions here. I'm not going to answer 400 questions. Jolie Gibbs says she's very interested to see if Kari Lake will win the Senate seat for Arizona. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't see her winning it. Let me move on. Let's see if that's, yeah, I don't see that. Okay, so next thing is Lorraine says, will the Secret Service agents expose any dirt that they know? God, I just saw a Secret Service agent writing a book. But I think somebody already wrote a book. But I'm seeing a new book, a tell-all book. We've talked to you guys a lot about this. The guides told you guys last year, all of this was going to come out in the public media. Maybe there's an astrological reason for this. I don't know. But instead of like coming out in a court of law like it should normally come out, it's coming out in books. Maybe because our court system is broken and no one is investigating. I don't know what's going on. But I just saw another tell-all book from the Secret Service agents. It's a tell-all book about the Trump years. But it has a connection to Reagan. What? Oh, maybe somebody in the Trump administration was around during Reagan. It has a connection to Reagan. They make like a connection to the Reagan years. Now, other than that, other than the tell-all book, the Secret Service be held accountable. I mean, I'm changing your question apparently from, because exposing dirt is writing a book. So that's what you asked and that's what they answered. I would just say, will Secret Service be held accountable? I see right now Biden. Biden is really angry, like spitting nails angry. It goes back to the inauguration, to his inauguration. Somebody was not held accountable. He wants them held accountable. There's a career Secret Service person. They're all career. I don't know why they say that. This person is still active, although not with Biden, because Biden booted them. There's, what is that word? There's, what is that word when you have actionable? There's actionable, credible evidence that this person is working for a foreign country, Secret Service. And Biden will not stop until that person is brought to justice. Wow. Wow. Also, there's a man and a woman. Wow. He's on it. He's on it. Biden is on it. And everybody knows, and he doesn't care. He does not care. The problem is people are saying that he's wrong. People are saying that it's a witch hunt, right? But Biden feels like he has evidence. And when the time is right, it's just like shifting levers. All these levers are going up, down, up, down. And what that means to me is Jack Smith, Fani Willis, Tish James, Alvin Bragg, all these levers are going up and down, up and down, up and down, right? You see Fani Willis's case is on hold. Jack Smith's case with Eileen Campbell is on hold. Alvin Bragg's case is going up, right? So you cannot push all the levers down. That's justice. You cannot repress all of the levers because they're independent. So here comes Alvin Bragg's case in 2 weeks or whatever it is, against Trump, criminal case against Trump. So that's going up. So with this thing with the Secret Service, it's the levers are going up and down, and Biden is just waiting till his lever can go up, till he can get the right prosecutor, the right time, the right court date. And this person, and this is so fascinating to me, because you would think people that are criming or have committed crimes, like perhaps allegedly Trump or Gates allegedly, or Boebert allegedly, or MTG, or allegedly anybody, even Democrats that have created a crime, you would think they would hide. You think they would be like, run away from the scene. But isn't that a thing? They say criminals always come back to the scene of the crime. Isn't that a thing? So these people are just like operating in broad daylight. Like nobody sees that they're a criminal. Because I guess we haven't seen that they're a criminal, but now we will. Because Karma's here. She got off the beach in Tahiti and she's kind of mad. So yeah, Biden is not going to let it go. It's justice. God, he's such a justice. He's like, I want justice. He's such a proponent of justice. He's never going to let it go. Biden doesn't let things go, apparently. He's not a person that lets things go. So yeah, dirt's coming out from the Secret Service. Let's see what else is going on. Hi, Lisa. Let's see. Your question is, will the Dems control the House and the Senate after 2024? Yes. Yes, people. The Dems, I think the Democrats could have control of the House before the election. Did you hear me? Before the election. It's true. So, yes, we're going to have the House and the Senate. The question is, how much? Because we need a supermajority so that we can get rid of the filibuster, so we can get some shit done. I don't know if we're going to have a supermajority. We need to have a decent majority. If we don't have a supermajority, then we need to at least have 4 or 5 seat majority. I don't know how many to have a supermajority, but we need to have a decent majority. To hell with this one or two people over. That doesn't give us a majority. That gives us a skin of our teeth. That gives us what we've got. The Republicans have a slim majority. Nothing's getting done, right? A slim majority is deadlock. We don't need that. We need a majority. So yeah, I do see us getting it, but we need more of a majority. So we need to work hard. We need to work really, really hard. The election is in months. We all need to get our sneakers on. We need to get out there door knocking. We need to be volunteering. We need to be text banking. We need to be showing up. Send your $5 in. Do what you can do. Okay. And your question is about getting things done for women. Yeah. So the Spirit Guides, I have a lot of new viewers. The Spirit Guides told you that Roe would disappear. We told you that before it happened. That's why we came up with 1-800-SPIRIT Guides, press 1 for complaints, because I'm just the messenger. Sometimes I tell you things you don't want to hear. Obviously, I didn't want to hear that either. But we knew it was going to happen. It happened. Now, we also told you that we would get it back. We are going to get back a women's choice. A woman's right to choose is coming back. Can I say that before that happens, more bad things don't happen? I can't say that, because the Republicans are digging their own grave with 2 shovels at a time. You know, they're going after birth control. They're trying to make embryos people. It's just insane what they're doing. It's like they're digging their own grave with 2 shovels at a time. Do you understand? That means that the timeline is twice as fast. They're digging their own grave twice as fast. That's good, because people need to wake up. You're woke up. I'm woke up. We're awake. We're seeing what's going on. We're freaking out. But there's a lot of people in the world and in the United States that are just doing their thing. They're just going to work. They're not paying any attention to anything. They're not paying attention, or they've been lulled to sleep with the media. They play their video games. They watch their celebrities. They go to work. They have no idea, because they've got their little blinders on. They have no idea that their rights are being taken away until they need the right. And then they go, wait, what do you mean? What do you mean I can't get an abortion? I've got a health issue. It's either I do it or I die. What do you mean you don't care if I die? What happened? And then they're going to be mad. And there's a lot more of them that don't know that will be mad than there are of us that know. So they're going to pour into the streets, and they're going to make life kind of irritating for all of us, because that's one way to fix things. But another way to fix things is just to pay attention to what's going on in your country and be involved as a citizen and vote. But they're not going to do that. Instead, they're going to wake up to basically their house is on fire, and they're going to say, what the hell happened? Why did you light my house on fire? Who are you? Get back. And then they're going to get in the streets and get crazy. So that's how we're going to fix this. Okay. But it's going to work. I mean, we'll get there one way or another. Hair on fire, right to the polls. That's how we're going to get there. Let's see. This is an interesting question. Libra Lindy says, please ask if the Supreme Court is mad at Biden and will give Trump immunity for calling them out during the during the State of the Union address. No. No. Do they feel chastised? Yes. Do they feel under attack? Yes. Do they feel even more mad that the dark money that's been feeding them is retreating? Yes. So they feel exposed. See, before they felt bolstered and emboldened because they had all this dark money coming in to tell them, we got you. We're billionaires. Nothing can touch you, my little darling pet Supreme Court, justice. Nothing is going to touch you. Be a good egg and vote for me. Vote the way I want you to. Here's another RV. Here's another hunting trip. Here's some more money. Those people are gone. Their benefactor, their protector, has fled for the hills. They're exposed. They feel exposed. Right now, I'm looking at Chief Justice, allegedly for entertainment purposes only, he might feel exposed for some reason. Can't imagine why. Thomas might feel really lonely. It's almost like there's a chill air going up under his robes. You know, he's like, whoa, what's that chill air? Honey, that's karma. She mad. She big mad. Okay. They feel exposed. That's what they feel. Now, I feel like, unfortunately, some of the other justices, like Justice Sotomayor, feels like she let the American people down. She feels wounded, which I hope she lets go, because that's a problem. You know, you don't want to bring this grief onto you. She didn't do it. She's one justice. She didn't do this, but she's very empathic, and she feels the weight. You know, all three of those women, those justices, Kagan and Ketanji Brown Jackson, feel responsible. They're enraged, right? But no, I don't think they're going to give him immunity, because that threatens their power. You know, that's a really good point the guides are bringing up. So people always tell me, and you probably heard this too, why would Republicans vote for a dictator? You know, Trump has said, I'll just be a dictator for one day. You know, he's just said, I'll just take care of everything, and then I won't be a dictator anymore. So you see these interviews with these people that say, yeah, I want Trump to be a dictator. I hate to say it, but he needs to clean everything up, and we need him to do it. Meaning they don't believe in the courts. They don't believe in the FBI, the police. They don't believe in democracy. They don't believe in Congress. They believe that all of that is wrong, and one man needs to come in and clear it all out, because I don't like any of it. And here's the question. The question is, don't you think they're going to come for your guns? Don't you think they're going to also emasculate you? Don't you think that's going to happen? You think they're going to defund the Board of Education and the FBI and the ATF, but yet they're going to let you have your gun. They do. They do think that. And so does the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court thinks the same thing. He won't come for me. I'm his friend. I'm going to give him his ability to not be immune, because I'm his friend and he's going to protect me. These Republicans think they're Republicans. I'm the good guy. I'm never going to be harassed. I'm never going to be the other, because I don't look like the other. I look like you. Therefore, we're the same. You're not the same. That's your mistake. You might be white, but you're not power. You're not a billionaire. You're not ruling class. You're not a blue blood. That's the disconnect. And that is where perhaps the Supreme Court could say, yes, we're giving him immunity. However, if they said that, the way it's written, you guys need to really calm down. I'm telling you, the way it's written is surgical. He only has immunity in this tiny, tiny, tiny little area. It doesn't give him immunity from Fonnie Willis or Alvin Bragg or the other cases. It doesn't make him immune. The media has lost their freaking mind. Go look up actual attorneys and prosecutors and find out what the real deal is. It does not make him immune. It does not. For those of you listening and not watching the screen, I'm putting on the screen a quote from the Lawfare blog. It states that if and when the Supreme Court decides to hear the case, the stakes will be far less momentous than many observers might assume, because the answer to the immunity question matters very little for Trump's prosecution. Is he immune on this one thing that they're going to be hearing? Potentially, yes, because the guides just told me these justices feel like they have to vote with Trump because Trump is the only one that's going to save them. Do you understand me? Biden is not going to save them. Because why? Because they've stepped out of bounds. because karma's here. Karma's here. And if you stepped out of bounds, you're going to have to pay a karmic debt. This is not just in the world writ large. This is everywhere, in your personal life, in your bosses, in teachers, in politicians, everywhere. If you've been abusing a situation, abusing your power, or conversely, not stepping in your power, there's going to be a reckoning. It's not just on the power takers, it's the people that haven't stepped in their power. We have to equalize it. How do you equalize something, people? Something has to go up, something has to come down to equalize it. Those without power have to come up. Those with too much power have to come down. Are we ever going to be equal? No, this is a dualistic planet. We're never going to be equal, ever. Think about it. You're either making money or losing money. Very rarely is anything the same. Your taxes go up, your taxes go down. Your bills go up, your bills go down. Your weight goes up, your weight goes down. Things are always in flux. This is a planet that's in flux, but it has to be more in a tolerance. It's too far out of whack. So karma's bringing it back into more tolerance, not equal, but back in more tolerance. Okay. So that's fascinating. I think that the Supreme Court could give him immunity in this tiny little thing because they feel like Trump is the only one that can save them. If you're looking at certain doom, if you're looking at prison, if you're looking at being completely having your reputation trashed, and the only person that can help you is this dark figure, you're going to just have to go with the dark figure. If you don't have the cojones or the ovaries to step into the light and say, mea culpa, I did it, I'm wrong, then you're going to stay in the dark. They're going to vote for the dark. That's what they're going to do. But it's not the end of the world. It's just not the end of the world. So tell people, if the Supreme Court comes down and says, I'm voting to give Trump immunity, it's not what you think it is. Will the media have a field day with this? Yes, they will, because they will have you believing that Trump is a megalomaniac and that Biden can now put anybody in jail because presidents have immunity. That's all wrong. It's all wrong. But the thing that will happen is that people who've not been paying attention to politics, who've been watching sports and celebrity, who've been working their asses off to pay the mortgage and the rent, been raising their kids, are going to be like, what? You're going to get their attention. So in that way, it could have a good outcome. Anything that wakes up people, and the guides are showing me two symbols that hit somebody in the head. Boing, anything that wakes up these people is a good thing on my behalf. Anything that wakes people up that they say, wait a minute, presidents have immunity? You mean I need to vote? You mean I need to pay attention? Yeah, I welcome that. I welcome that. I'd much rather them wake up over a narrowly written Supreme Court decision and get busy than to wake up when Trump is president. I'd rather have it this way. And this is what's going to keep Trump from being president. So you see how this video I just did, which I didn't post because it was crazy, you can see how paradoxical everything is. The worst thing possible has the silver lining. It really does. The silver lining that might actually end up saving our asses. Surprise. That's why I don't want you guys to freak out. Instead, go online and educate yourself. Go online and look for professors, law professors. Look for people, get lots of opinions. Dig deep. Go beyond MSNBC. Dig deep. Share your resources below. Okay, let me do one or two more. But this is important big picture stuff that they're talking about. Let's go with Joanne Lowry says, how long will election deniers delay the results of the overwhelming win for Democrats in the November 2024 election? See, this is the thing, guys. You can't imagine what the world is going to look like in November from today in March. Between now and November, we will have had so many all hell broke loose moments that I don't see, let me look. There is an energy of a showdown. Now, this energy really reared its head on the border. If you recall on the Texas border, when the Supreme Court said that Texas cannot put these razor wires in the Rio Grande River, which is the liquid border between Mexico and Texas. Okay. And Texas said, screw you, we're going to do it anyway, right? The spirit guides told you guys that it would just dissolve, that it would be like blow up, blow up, blow up, and then with a whimper, like go out with a whimper, okay? But there was energy that was blowing up there. And the energy was between the federal government and the states. That's what the energy was. But the spirit guide said it's going to blow up and then it's going to like air out of a balloon. And that's exactly what happened. Literally exactly what happened. But the same energy is still prevalent between the states and the government. That energy has not dissipated. And when you have energy, it wants to manifest. It's like trying to keep water in a swimming pool that has a leak in it. It's going to find a leak, or it's going to create another weak point. It's going to find a weak point, and then it's going to escape. That's the energy. So the energy does suggest that there is energy building towards a government-state clash. There could be a government-state clash after the election. But what I see is, for some reason, I see the ATF. And I think it's interesting because that's the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. They have a very unique, what do you call that? A reason for existing, a project. They have a unique mission. But oftentimes, the spirit guides call them out specifically. Instead of the CIA, instead of the FBI, they call out the ATF. They say the ATF will deal with this. I don't know what their mission is, but it's a very unique mission. And I see the ATF getting involved in this. And I also know that one of the Republican, I think it was a House member, I'm sure it was a House member, put a bill forth to call for the dissolution, to call for dissolving the ATF amongst the FBI and other things. They know that the ATF is something dangerous to them. They know that. I should look up the mission of the ATF. But anyway, I see the ATF getting involved in this, and I feel like whatever happens gets resolved quickly. It's like the energy says there's two ways we can do this. The easy way and the hard way. What do you want to do? The hard way is we come with force. The easy way is you come to your senses like they did at the border, and the whole thing just disappears. And the thing is, humans forget. We all forgot that there was this big showdown at the border. Even when Biden and Trump were at the border a week ago, nobody talked about the showdown at the border. The media literally operates on like a 5-second rule. If it was 5 seconds ago, they can't remember it. Why didn't they bring it up? What about the showdown at the border? How come Trump and Biden are at the Texas border, but we're not talking about the showdown at the border? It was gone. The energy just dissipated. It just disappeared. So you don't get to hear about the resolution of it because it just dissipates. That's what I see happening. I wouldn't worry too much about another Jan 6 because Biden is super on top of this. I've always told you guys, the spirit guides have always said, Biden has the best intel of any president, except for maybe Teddy Roosevelt. I don't know why, but anyway, they always show me Teddy. Biden has incredible intelligence. He has put the money in it. He has put the effort into it. He has good intelligence briefings. He has he has an amazing understanding of intelligence because he's been in the Senate since Moses was crossing the desert. So he understands all these countries. He understands their goals, their energies. He understands their generational aspirations. He understands intelligence like most presidents don't because of his age, because of his experience. And he values it. When you value intelligence, you bring on those intelligence, briefings. You increase them. GW is famous for decreasing them. Trump is famous for decreasing them. Biden's going to be known as the intelligence president. He knows what's going down. He's got eyes and ears everywhere. Do not underestimate this man. And I mean, seriously. I think this is a great question. And it's our own people. We got to police our own people, or who are we? If we're not standing up for our own values, then we don't have values. And the question is by Donna, will Menendez give up his Senate seat voluntarily? WTF, senators, WTF. Let's get this done. I don't even care. This is crazy, probably. Let me ask the spirit guides and get Susan out of this situation. Let me ask the spirit guides because it makes me angry. So what they're telling me is the Democrats believe he deserves due process. He doesn't have to step down unless he's convicted, and he deserves due process. Is he guilty? Allegedly, yes. But he deserves due process. And there's this sense of the wheels of justice are turning. And there's this sense of, I don't know if he's the brightest bulb in the pack, because there's this sense that he might possibly, allegedly, for entertainment purposes only, be incriminating himself and others. And there's always this sense of Jack Smith. Jack Smith is like, please, he's the gentleman. Please go right ahead. Continue to run with that rope. Please take your time. I'll wait. There's this sense that Jack Smith loves watching people do their thing. Makes his job easier, right? So if he's got this much evidence and he's going to wait another 6 months and he's going to have this much evidence, he's going to wait 6 months. He doesn't care about time. He cares about justice. And while your evidence goes from here to here, he's got more fish to fry. It's not just Menendez. Now it's a whole bunch of other people because the evidence is this much. This much supports many more fish to fry. It's the same thing with spies. They're saying, when we catch a spy in America that's for another country, but they're in America and they're spying, we don't arrest them unless they're in the military, which I might add, we've arrested a lot of spies in the military in the last year. Google it. It will astound you. Anyway, we don't arrest them. We watch them. That's gold. That's gold. We want to see, who are they spying with? Who are they paying off? Who are they spying for? So that's what Jack Smith is doing with Menendez. That's what everybody's doing with Menendez. First of all, the wheels of justice are turning. Second of all, while they're turning, big dummies out there doing more dumb things. Now, will he give it up voluntarily? I don't think so. There's a possibility that he will, but he might say it's a health-related thing, and it might be a health-related thing. I don't think he's very healthy. There's something going on in his energy, in his health energy. But he doesn't want to give it up. He doesn't want to give it up. He doesn't believe he should give it up. He's delusional. He's just as delusional as the Trumpers are. Just the other direction. Discernment. We need discernment. We can't believe in the echo chamber. We cannot let our confirmation bias get the better of us just because we think somebody is somebody. We need to really be careful. Okay. Don't believe everything I say. Don't believe everything anybody says. Trust but verify. How does it feel in your body? If this person feels weird, then don't follow them. If I bring somebody on my channel and you're like, I don't know about that person, don't follow them. Just because I do doesn't mean you should. We have to really trust but verify. We really have to have our own discernment going on here. Just because Menendez is a Democrat doesn't mean that he's trustworthy. It doesn't mean that he's on our side or on justice's side. He's on the other side. Let's see. Last question from James. Well, Senator Tammy Baldwin win re-election in Wisconsin. I think yes. I see yes. I see a strong yes for Tammy Baldwin. I see a strong yes. And I'm throwing one in for extra credit. Surf the New Energies says, do we see Senator Ron Johnson ever seeing consequences for his corrupt actions? I do. Ron Johnson is in trouble. You know, a lot of these people are going to be having health problems because when you have so much worry and fear, and let this be a lesson to us to let the worry and fear go. Because when you have worry and fear and anxiety, and you keep it in your body because you know you've been doing some things you shouldn't have been doing, it erupts as physical ailment, physical illness. So he's not well either. Ron Johnson could be having some issues too. Lower GI, allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. But yeah, he's going to see consequences. You guys, these people are going to see consequences. They really are. Now, if you've watched to the end, I know that you probably saw my collaboration with Alan Johnson. But if you didn't, you should watch it because I cover a lot of topics in that thing that you're going to want to know about. It's really a good conversation. My collaborations are easy to watch. They're not a bunch of chatty. They're not complicated. It's really, there's a lot of things in that conversation I covered that I didn't cover in this conversation. So you may want to watch that. Take really, really good care of yourselves. I will have one of my favorite astrologers. I have a lot of great favorite astrologers, but one of my favorite astrologers, I'm going to be putting up a video this weekend about the eclipses. You guys, the eclipses are coming. They're big. They're going to change our world. Watch for that video this weekend. I'll see you guys really soon. Take really, really good care of yourselves. For entertainment purposes only.